Be me, 32, Senior VP of Diversity and Inclusion at a mid-sized tech firm in Seattle. Master's in Sociology, minor in Gender Studies. Making $180K a year telling software engineers why they are problematic. Life is a series of victories. I am the architect of the modern workplace. I am the main character. Be Mark, my husband, 34, civil engineer, works for the city, makes $85K. Quiet, stoic, boring. Come home every day to him sitting on the couch, reading specs or watching how it's made. He's the unmovable object to my unstoppable force. I married him because he was safe. A project, someone I could mold. He's tall, broad-shouldered, decent jawline, but functionally a caveman. No understanding of intersectionality. No passion for social justice. Just wants to build bridges and grill meat. I tolerate him. Someone has to carry the heavy boxes and fix the sink. Current ideology, the future is female. Men are obsolete unless properly educated. My role in this marriage is the benevolent dictator. I bring the culture, the intellect, and the money. He brings the manual labor. Fair trade, or so I tell my therapist. Tuesday night, host a dinner party for my colleagues. All high-flying corporate feminists and their allies. Mark is in the kitchen cooking steaks. I told him to make the vegan option the centerpiece. He makes steaks anyway. People like protein, he says. I roll my eyes. We sit down. I dominate the conversation, talking about the new initiative I'm pushing. Mandatory sensitivity training based on microaggression tracking. Everyone is nodding. The echo chamber is sealed and airtight. I look at Mark. He's cutting his steak. Precision, surgical. Doesn't say a word. My colleague, Sarah, asks him what he thinks about the gender pay gap in engineering. Mark looks up, chews slowly, swallows. The bridges don't care who builds them, as long as the math works. Silence. I laugh nervously. Oh, Mark, always so literal. He doesn't understand the systemic nuance. I pat his arm condescendingly. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't smile. He just takes a sip of water. I feel a twinge of annoyance. Why won't he fight back? Why won't he let me correct him? It's like arguing with a glacier. Later that night, I lecture him in bed. You embarrass me. You can't just say things like that. He's reading a book on fluid dynamics. I answered the question. You dismissed her lived experience with data. Data is reality, Jen. I scoff. Reality is socially constructed. You're so simple. He turns the page. Good night, Jen. I fume. I interpret his silence as stupidity. He simply can't grasp my level of intellect. I go to sleep feeling superior. The bubble is intact. Time skip, 6 months. Work is getting intense. I'm pushing for the firing of a senior dev. Guy is a wizard with code, but made a joke about pronouns in 2014. I dug it up. The receipt. I love receipts. I present it to the board. They are hesitant. He's critical to the infrastructure. I threaten a PR nightmare. They fold. He's gone. I feel a rush of power. I come home to celebrate. Mark is in the garage, working on his wood shop. He's been spending a lot of time out there. I walk in, holding a bottle of $80 wine. We need to talk about your ambition, Mark. He's sanding a table. Dust everywhere. He puts on the earmuffs. I pull them off. Are you listening to me? I just crushed a patriarch at work. I'm changing the world. Good for you. And what did you do? Approve a sewer line? Yes, it prevents cholera. You're satisfied with mediocrity. I make double what you make. Don't you feel emasculated? He stops sanding, looks me in the eye. That same dead, flat stare. Money isn't the score, Jen. That's what poor people say. He puts the earmuffs back on. I storm out. He doesn't chase me. He never chases me. Phase 2, the collision. I start going to happy hours with the new consultant. Chad runs a disruptive synergy agency, uses all the right buzzwords, validates my theories, tells me I'm a queen and a visionary. We don't sleep together. Not yet, but the emotional affair is raging. I compare him to Mark. Chad is exciting. Mark is furniture. Chad agrees with me. Mark checks the math. I decide I need to shake Mark up. He's too comfortable. He thinks I'll stay forever because of commitment. I need to show him his place in the hierarchy. Saturday morning, I sit him down at the table he built. I'm not happy. He drinks his coffee. Okay, why? I feel stifled. I feel like I've outgrown you. You're stagnant. He nods. I think we need a break, a separation. I need to find myself. I wait for the panic. I wait for the begging. Please, Jen, don't go. I'll change. I'll read the books. That's the script. That's how this goes. Mark sets the mug down. Okay. Just, okay. My brain short circuits. Okay, that's it. You're not going to fight for us. You said you're unhappy. You said you've outgrown me. I can't force you to stay. So you don't care. I care, but I also listen. He stands up. I'll move into the guest room until you figure out living arrangements. I am stunned. He called my bluff, but my ego won't let me back down. Fine, I'll stay at the apartment downtown. The company keeps one for execs. Okay. He walks away to feed the dog. The dog looks at me, then follows him. Traitors. I move out, living the sex and the city life. Wine bars every night. Chad is always around. But Chad is exhausting. He talks about himself constantly. He expects me to pay for things because smashing the patriarchy means equal footing. My apartment is messy. The sink leaks. I call Mark to ask how to fix it. Call a plumber, Jen. I'm not your maintenance staff anymore. Click. The audacity. 2 months pass. I expect Mark to be falling apart, living in filth, begging for my return. I stalk his social media. He doesn't have any. I ask mutual friends. Oh, Mark, he looks great. Started hitting the gym. Think he's training for a triathlon. What? He was supposed to be miserable. I decide to go home to check on the house. Reality, I want to see him suffer. I key in. The house is spotless. Better than when I lived there. The smell of lavender and sawdust. There's a new rug. I walk into the kitchen. Mark is there. He looks different. Leaner. New haircut. Cooking. 2 plates. A woman walks in from the patio. Younger, maybe 26. Wearing one of his flannels. No makeup. Smiling. She looks simple. Traditional. She sees me and freezes. Mark turns around. Calm as ever. Hello, Jen. You should have called. The rage is instantaneous. Volcanic. Who is this? We are still married. Mark wipes his hands on a towel. We are separated. You left. You said you outgrew me. I didn't say you could replace me with this. I point at the girl. She looks at Mark. Mark nods to her. Go to the den, Sarah, it's okay. She leaves, submissive, disgusting. You're cheating on me, I scream. No, I filed for divorce 45 days ago. You were served at your office. Your assistant signed for it. Did you not read it? My blood runs cold. I haven't been to the office in weeks. Working remotely, drinking with Chad. You can't do this. I am the breadwinner. This is my house. Mark leans against the counter. The unmovable object. Is it? Phase 3, the collapse. I lawyer up. I hire the nastiest, most aggressive shark in the city. I'm going to destroy him. I want the house, the dog, alimony. I want to bleed him dry for the emotional damage of moving on so quickly. I tell my lawyer he was abusive. Coercive control. Financial abuse. We'll bury him, the lawyer says. Court mediation. I walk in wearing my power suit. Mark is there in a simple button-down. He has a binder, just a simple black binder. My lawyer starts the speech. My client demands full possession of the marital asset, plus spousal support due to the income disparity. Mr. Mark was a low earner who relied on my client's lifestyle. Mark's lawyer, a quiet older man, opens the binder. The receipt. Exhibit A, finances. Mark's lawyer speaks. Actually, while Mrs. Jen had a higher salary, she had a net negative savings rate. She spent $60K last year on clothing, trips, and consulting fees to a Mr. Chad Thundercock. He slides a spreadsheet across. Mark, however, invested 60% of his income. Into what? I snap. Crypto, magic beans, real estate and index funds, and the patent. The twist, the recontextualization. All those nights he was in the garage. I thought he was making birdhouses. He was prototyping a new joint bracket for seismic retrofitting. He sold the patent to the city 6 months ago, right before I left. The payout was substantial. 7 figures. My eyes widen. That's marital property, I scream. I own half of that. Mark's lawyer smiles. Actually, the patent was filed and sold under M Corp LLC. So, an LLC formed 3 years ago, with a post-nuptial agreement you signed. I freeze. I remember. 3 years ago, I was getting a bonus. I didn't want him to touch my money. I made asterisk him sign a postnup, keeping our business assets separate. I thought I was protecting my millions. I was protecting his. You signed a waiver of interest in any independent business ventures to protect your own consulting brand, Mark says softly. I stare at the paper. My signature, in blue ink. I remember feeling so smart when I signed it. But the house, I stammer, bought with the down payment from my inheritance from my grandmother, Mark says, which, per the prenup you insisted on, remains separate property. I am hyperventilating. I look at Mark. I look for the smugness. I look for the malice. There is none. He just looks tired. I tried to tell you, Jen. I tried to talk about finances. You told me I was boring and to handle the small stuff. He closes the binder. So I handled it. The superweapon fails. I start crying. Real tears, fake tears. I don't even know anymore. You planned this. You manipulated me. I prepared, he says. I just followed the rules you set. The humiliation isn't over. My lawyer whispers to me, we have to settle. If this goes to a judge with your spending habits and the abandonment, you might end up paying him. I sign. I get the car, lease is almost up. I get my personal savings, which are gone. I get my career. The aftermath. I go to work the next day. I need a win. I call a meeting. I scream at my team. I project all my rage onto a junior dev. He records it. He posts it on TikTok. Toxic HR director creates hostile work environment. It goes viral. The receipt of my behavior. The board calls me in. Jen, you're a liability. But I'm the victim here. I'm a woman in tech. You're a lawsuit waiting to happen. We're letting you go. Terminated. For cause. No severance. Phase 4, the void. Be me, 35. Living in a studio apartment. The city is expensive. I can't get a job in HR. My name is poison on Google. I'm working as a freelance consultant, writing articles on Medium about how men are narcissists. They get 50 claps. I see Mark sometimes. From a distance, he's at the farmer's market. With Sarah. She's pregnant. He looks happy. Not manic happy. Just solid. He's carrying the heavy bags. She's holding his arm. He built a new house. With the money I helped him protect from me. I go home, open a bottle of wine. Boxed wine. I look in the mirror. I see the wrinkles. I see the bitterness. I spent my life fighting a war against the patriarchy. I fought against the oppressor. Mark wasn't the oppressor. He was just a man. A man who wanted to build things and have a family. I demonized the only person who actually loved me. I pick up my phone, scroll through my old contacts. Chad blocked me months ago. My friends stopped calling when the expense account dried up. I realized the truth. The ideology was a cope. I wasn't empowered. I was just difficult. I mistook patience for weakness. I mistook silence for ignorance. I sit on the floor. The apartment is cold. I turn on the heater. It doesn't work. I need to fix it. I stare at the mechanism. I don't know how. I have a master's degree in sociology. I can deconstruct the heater's inherent bias. I can analyze the heater's role in climate colonialism, but I cannot make the heater produce heat. Mark could fix it. In 5 minutes, I wrap myself in a blanket. I check my email. Rejection letter from Starbucks. Overqualified. The bill has come due. The receipt is printed. I won every argument. I corrected every microaggression. I smashed the glass ceiling. And now I am sitting in the shards. Alone. Cold. Correct. I close my eyes. I imagine the smell of sawdust. I imagine the sound of the football game on TV. I imagine being bored. God, I would give anything to be bored again. But the unmovable object has moved on. And I am just Icarus, drifting in the sea, drowning in my own wax and feathers. End.